What is he doing out here? Honey, what are you doing out here? What is happening right now?
What do you mean? I'm riding my jet ski. I just can't get enough of it. I have to do it while I'm here in the garage too. You see? I can play my game, my jet ski riding game, while I'm on my jet ski, steering with my handlebars. It's super cool.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to Weekenders on the Water. Today we're back here in the garage, and today we're finally going to talk about this phone mount that all of you have been asking about. So stick around, check it out, hit that subscribe button, and let's go.
Let's go.
Alright guys, so I know that you guys have been asking about this for a very long time, and I kept promising that I would eventually do a full rundown breakdown of what this is, and today is finally that day. This here is a custom-made mount for a phone that can run a GPS or whatever other navigation system you want for your Sea-Doo. It is something that I created myself, and it is currently available for sale. But however, I'm going to do one thing that no influencer slash YouTuber ever does, and I'm going to tell you not to buy this. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. This is available for sale currently right now on weekendersonthewater.com. However, I do know that there are a few compromises that I had to make in order to design this, and I designed it mostly for myself, but due to the interest of everyone else just saying that they want one too, I've made it available. However, there are some things that you need to be aware of before you purchase this. So let's go over exactly what this is and how it works. All right guys, so I had to move inside because it is just way too hot out there in the garage in the summertime, but I do want to tell you all about this thing. So let's start off with what is it, why did I make it, and all of that. So first off, I was looking for a GPS that I could run on my Sea-Doo, and looking at the options available on the market, like the lowest cost option I could find was like $300. And I love a good value, and my thought went immediately to, I can make something cheaper than that. And that's exactly what I did. So if you're not aware, there are a couple marine navigation apps that you can run on your phone, primarily Navtronics or Wave Boating app, either one of those. And so if you have a phone that's mounted on your dash, not only can you run either of those marine navigation apps, but you can run pretty much any other app that you're interested in running as well. So maybe video games or TikTok, YouTube. Probably shouldn't be watching those while you're on the jet ski, but there are options. If you want to connect this to like a Bluetooth speaker, and maybe listen to Spotify or Pandora, you can track your routes with Relive or a number of other things. Just having a basic phone on your dash opens up so many more possibilities than a dedicated marine GPS. Not only do you get all the GPS features, but you get so much more at a much less cost. So that was the driving factor here and why I created this. Now, what is it? So I have it here broken down into a couple of its parts on the table. So this is the main head unit area here. This basically has an Android phone inside of it. And then this is just the bottom half that helps kind of clamp all of this together onto the handlebars. Now, obviously for this to work, you do have to have the style of Sea-Doo that has the trapezoidal hole in the middle of the handlebars. If you have like an RX, PX or something like that, it's not going to work. I do have a list of what I believe are all the compatible models on the website, and you can go check those out. But just know that you do have to have a particular type of Sea-Doo for this to work. Speaking of the website, if I didn't mention, this is available for sale on the website, weekendersonthewater.com. You can go check it out. However, unlike any other influencer out there, what I'm going to tell you is don't buy it. If you have trouble using technology or Android devices, don't buy it, because there's going to be a lot of things on here that are kind of complicated. It is definitely more of a DIY tinkerer style GPS than if you were to buy something off the shelf. If you got the money to spend on something that's much more expensive and you don't want the hassle of having to figure it out, go buy one of those options. But if you're looking to save some money and you're willing to kind of mess with it and figure it out on your own, then maybe this is an option for you. In which case, stick around. I'll show you exactly how I use it, but just know that there are a few compromises, And there are a few things that you need to be aware of before you purchase this. So again, if any of these are deal breakers for you, then I encourage you, don't buy it. So here is the main setup. This is just a little cheap phone. Here it's an Android phone. And so again, you have to know how to use Android in order for this to work. Now, everything that you see here will come with it. So that includes the mount, that includes the phone, that includes the waterproof case as well. So when I say that I'm selling this, I'm selling it as a complete unit. Basically everything that you need to get started will come with it. So you get the entire mount. You'll get all the hardware that you need, all the little screws and everything, even some extras, and then you get your color choice of bezels and power button up here at the top. But let's go ahead and tear this thing down. So basically the way that this works is, and it's kind of hard when it's not locked into the ski, but basically you have these little locking keys on either side that hold the phone in place, and then from here you can just take this off and then the phone just pops out. So this is a Motorola Moto G 2025 version. It is a fairly cheaper phone, as far as phones go. But the idea here is that, if this phone ever does get damaged or waterlogged or lost or whatever, it can easily be replaced. So instead of having your big expensive phone up on the dash and chances of ruining it with salt water, you can use this phone instead. And then if you do need to replace it or whatever, it's not too expensive to replace, comparatively. So I know that a lot of Apple phones and a lot of Samsung phones can be $2,000 or more these days. So having something that's much less than that, strapped to your dash, and while you're protecting your expensive phone, I think brings a lot of peace of mind. At least it does to me, but that does come with some compromises. So number one, that means that obviously this phone, being so inexpensive, does not have cell phone service. It is carrier locked to Straight Talk. If you did want to turn on cell phone service for this, it'd have to be with Straight Talk, unless you want to completely reflash this. I mean, obviously it's an Android phone. Some of you guys are really good at that sort of thing. And if you want to just rewrite your own operating system on that, then you can go ahead and do that. But straight out of the box, at least, it's carrier locked, and it's not going to have cell phone service, but it does still work with Wi-Fi and GPS. So basically what you want to do is start up your expensive phone and turn on Wi-Fi hotspot. And then from there, you'll use your Wi-Fi hotspot on your expensive phone, which is safely tucked away in your glove box, to run whatever you want to on this phone. Now, because this phone is going to be mounted horizontally on the handlebars, there are a couple of weird things that you do have to kind of be aware of. First off, is, as you can see there, it does want to keep it's going to be sideways, obviously. There are a few ways to get around that. As you can see, I've got the screen orientation locked in a horizontal manner. There are several apps that can do that, and I'll have a walkthrough on all of how to do all of that on the website, which apps I use. But yeah, you'll probably want a screen orientation lock, and then also, because this is a touch screen, as you're writing, if this thing gets wet, if the screen gets wet here, it's going to treat it like a fingerprint or like a finger touch. So you do need to have a touch lock app running as well. And again, there's several of those on the market through the Google Play Store, and you can download whichever one you want. If you go look at the website with the full user instruction manual, you'll see the two that I've used. But do know that you need to run some sort of orientation lock and touch lock on this thing to really get it to work well. So next up, the main thing that I use this for is for navigation. So you do have a couple options, like I mentioned, Navtronics or wave boating. I've used both. Now, this is not an endorsement of either one over the other. Honestly, I used wave boating for a long time just because they had a free trial, like a 2-week free trial, and then I let it expire and they charged me, and so I got a year out of it after that, after I paid for it. But I have been more recently, I have switched to Navtronics for one main reason, and I'll show you why. So if we start up Navtronics here, you can see in the horizontal mode, it does look just like it does in the vertical mode. Well, like I said, it's locked now, so it's not going to switch back to vertical. But it does still allow you to do full function, full features, everything that you need in a horizontal mode. So that means that from here, you can search for different places, plan your routes, manual, auto routes, whatever you need to do. And it'll all come up here in your Navtronics app and work fantastically. Just remember that once you've set your route and you're ready to go, re-enable your touch lock on your screen, so that way it doesn't like kind of start moving all over the place on you. However, if you want to use wave boating, you can see I've got wave boating pulled up here. Unfortunately, when it's in the horizontal mode, it doesn't really tend to give you the full features of the app for whatever reason. It's a limitation of the wave boating app that it doesn't allow you to search in this mode. So you actually have to turn it back into like portrait style orientation, search for what you're looking for, and then switch it back into horizontal. It's a bit of a pain. But if you're using that screen orientation lock app that I mentioned, then that'll allow you to do that. Unfortunately, you'll have to kind of turn your head sideways and type into it, which is kind of a weird thing for wave boating. But because of that, and it's a bit of a hassle, it's a couple extra steps. That's kind of why I've gotten away from wave boating. I do like the wave boating interface a little bit more than Navtronics, but at least for this this particular device, I think the Navtronics is my personal preference. But again, use whatever you want. It's not sponsored by either of those companies. That's the main thing, is you can use whatever navigation app you want. Some other interesting things though is because it's a phone and because it's sitting on your handlebars, you can actually play video games. For instance, here's a jet ski game that I've got pulled up, and as you rotate your handlebars, you can actually play this jet ski racing game. Now, obviously, I'm not very good at it, and I really haven't spent much time at it. Just something kind of fun to do. Maybe when you're parked up at the sandbar, if you're not actively riding, this could be something fun to do. You can also do car racing games very similar, where again, so you're still using your handlebars to kind of steer. Asphalt is a car racing game for that. The name of the jet ski racing game is Riptide. So if you want to look those up, they're kind of fun. Some other interesting things that you can do with this is because it does have a camera built in, you can use this. Now, I designed the mount here to have a cutaway for the camera. When the phone is placed into the mount here, the camera does still work as a pass-through. Now, granted, in like this horizontal thing, again, it's just kind of weird, but you can see, you can see kind of what's on the other side, which would typically be your gauges at this point. If you want to record your gauges while you're going, you can do that. Obviously you could also use the front-facing camera and record yourself. Like I mentioned, this is not a top-of-the-line flagship type of phone, so honestly, the cameras on there are not great, but it is an option. Something else that's kind of unique about this is, again, with that same pass-through, you can turn on your flashlight if you like. So then you have a flashlight on this side. Now, this is obviously not legal or Coast Guard approved as navigation lights, but if you do find yourself in a low light situation, it could be used as like an emergency scenario. It's better than nothing is what I would say. So, it's just an extra bonus. I would not say this is anything that, like, this is not a reason to buy this, but again, being that it's a phone, you get a lot more options than you would with a typical GPS. When you purchase this, this is basically how it's gonna come, except for obviously the phone and the case here will come in their respective manufacturers' boxes and stuff, and you can assemble that. Everybody's put a case on a phone before, so pretty straightforward. Just the only weird thing about this is because it's a waterproof case, it does have a seal all the way around that you do kind of have to make sure that all gets set in place. But then once you get this in place, it's pretty straightforward. So this will come here as the top unit. It's got the button up here that'll come pre-installed. I'll give you an extra button as well, a couple other extra accessories, maybe just duplicates of some of these pieces that could potentially get lost or broken. So you'll have a couple extras. But when you go to install this, the main thing here is make sure that the groove here for the power button does slot up into that the little button that's on the case there. So you basically just insert the top of it first, and then insert that second, and then from here you go to install the bevel. The ears here on either side will slot up into this. There's actually little slots on either side of the top here. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but those ears will slot into those spots and slide up and lock in place. And then from there, you just kind of got to press the bottom into its respective sides. And it's a little bit easier when it's actually on the jet ski, and when you have two hands. With the phone surround in place, you have these two little locking keys. They are specific to which side they go on, so they go in with a kind of like a normal key, and then get rotated 90 degrees inward. So one will get turned to the left, one will get turned to the right when they get inserted. And then that's going to lock the whole thing in there. So now with that in there, that phone is not going to come out. So then basically this slots in from the top of the handlebars into the hole that's there in the center. This will go up underneath. So it does have a cutout for your key, so that side will have to be on the bottom. So when it's all said and done, the two pieces will sit kind of like this with your handlebars completely wrapped around it. As you can see, it's got a lot of different contact points that'll keep it in place. And then you have these two screws that slot in from underneath and screw up to kind of keep the two pieces together. Once this is fully installed on the ski, it can be a little difficult to get the phone actually out, and so I do recommend loosening these up about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch or so to get some play to kind of be able to lift the top off just about like that, and then that'll give you room for this to clear over the front of the handlebars. But you know, I'm sure you'll figure it out. But again, that whole figuring it out thing is kind of what my whole hesitation was with selling this, is that if you're not able to just figure something out, then like I said, this probably isn't the product for you. I definitely recommend go ahead and go spend more money on something that is from an actual company and an actual corporation, because I'm just a single guy here, you know, kind of making these things in my house and selling them, putting them together and selling them. Because of that, I don't know, I'm not a corporation. I don't know how to, you know, do a lot of online sales. I've been doing a few like print on demand things, like, you know, this hat and, you know, this shirt, which, you know, if you want any of this stuff, you know, again, you can purchase all that over the same location, weekendersonthewater.com. But with these kind of, you know, with this mount that I've created myself here, this sort of thing, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to offer any kind of refunds, returns, policies, anything like that. All sales are going to be final on this, so you definitely need to make sure you have a Sea-Doo that is compatible with that hole in the handlebars. You need to make sure that you know how to use these kind of apps and these kind of phones, Android phones, because if you get it and you think that you can slap your iPhone in there, I'm sorry, you're going to be wrong, and you know, you're going to be out the money, because I just can't process returns on things like this. Again, I'm just a single guy here. You know, obviously I got Christine helping me out, but neither of us are really like companies. We're not selling things regularly. So this is our first foray into this. We'll see how it goes. If this continues to like kind of pick up speed, and as we continue to learn, maybe we'll come out with other versions. At the moment, all sales are final, and it only works with this particular phone. One other thing to consider and keep in mind, when this is mounted on your handlebars, it does make it rather difficult to see your gauges. So like I said, you will have to kind of look over your gauges if you want to see how fast you're going, for instance. It does kind of block that a little bit. Also, if you have a GTI or a GTR, it does make it a little bit more difficult, again, to reach out into that frunk space, because now your handlebars are going to be sitting that much higher. So even for me, I'm a taller guy, and I've never had a problem getting to the bottom of my GTI frunk. But once I have this installed, for me, it is a little bit of a reach, and I'm over 6 feet tall. So if you're on the shorter end and you have that style of Sea-Doo, that could really be a problem for you. If you have the SD3 haul, where the whole thing lifts up, you know, you don't have to consider that. You don't have to worry about it. So I know that this has kind of been a bit of a ramble, and I've kind of been a little bit all over the place with this, but it is what it is. So I just want to be as forthcoming as I can about this thing and its limitations. And if you've seen all that and you still want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. We've got a few of them that are available for sale right now. Quantities are limited, just to kind of see how this goes. If this goes well, I may end up putting some more out there. But for right now, I'm going to kind of limit it to just a handful, and we'll see how we end up. But like I said, if you're expecting this to be something, you know, that kind of comes from a major corporation or company, it's not. It's completely DIY, and you definitely have to have a sort of a can-do mindset to be able to make this thing work. But if you can do it, then you can save a ton of money over what is a traditional GPS and get a lot more functionality than what you normally would. So this is available and live right now on the website, weekendersonthewater.com. Go ahead, go check it out. Read over all the documentation, and if you get through all that and you still decide that you want to buy it, then go ahead and place an order, and we'll get one shipped out to you as soon as possible. Now, do keep in mind these are made on demand, so shipping and processing is going to take a little bit longer than a standard purchase. I'm probably looking at about a 2-week lead time before I could even get it shipped out in the mail, so you may have a little bit of a wait. Anyways, that is the GPS phone mount that has been on my dash now for a few months, and that you guys have been asking for more details. Put everything here. If you have any more questions about it, just kind of general sort of questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But like I said, you know, I'm not going to be kind of doing technical sort of details and troubleshooting. That just gets a little bit much. But if you have any kind of general questions, go ahead and put those in the comments down below. I'll do my best to try to answer as many of those as possible. And yeah, it is what it is. It's live now. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll do more versions and maybe we'll do more phones in the future. So we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. With that being said, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it, really help us out. With that being said, we're out of here, and we'll see you next weekend. Is that blowing on you at all?
Barely, but
Do you want to adjust it? First off, it is, so let's start off with what is it? You can track your routes with, you can track your route is, I don't even know, Riptide.